Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, The Best of Enemies. So this is a racially charged movie. It's about an activist who goes up against a member of the Ku Klux Klan, the KKK, as we'll refer to it for the rest of the night, about school inclusion. So, about mixing races in schools in 1971. It's a shame that this all went down. But anyway, let's not talk about that. Let's not get political. Let's talk about the movie. Taraji P. Henson, I think I'm saying that right. I don't know. Sam Rockwell, fantastic guy. I love to see him act. And Hayes is in it. Wes Bentley, you might recognize. I recognize his face. You might recognize his name. And Bruce McGill. So Bruce McGill, I recognize if you've ever seen Quantum Leap. He's the bartender in the final scene. He is the whole thing about Quantum Leap. But every time I see him, and he popped up now and again. But anyway, that's where I always recognize him from. So if you've ever seen that, that's where he's from. So I'm sure there's other people in this movie, and I'll let you know. But IMDb 6.7, and it's 2 hours and 13 minutes. So you need some time to watch this one. And as I have it paused on my screen right now, it says the following is based on a true story. So I'll get into it a little bit, see what it's all about, give you a better idea what the synopsis is, and ultimately tell you what I think. So stick around. I'll be back.
Purified me with water, laid his hand on his shoulder, said, "You are home."
Hey everybody, I want to do a quick check-in here. We're watching The Best of Enemies. We're at the 56 minute, 58 second mark. Almost at halfway, a little bit under halfway, but catch up really quick on the synopsis because there's not too much to tell. It's about school integration. So, Taraji Henson plays Anne, who is the activist. So they develop her a little bit and how she's very active in protesting for black rights. Okay, and then Sam Rockwell is playing C.P. Ellis, who is the head of the Ku Klux Klan in Durham, North Carolina. So this all takes place in Durham, North Carolina. And essentially what has happened is this black school has caught on fire and has left them, the black kids, without a school. So the thought was maybe they integrate into the white schools or find another solution. So they hire somebody in and bring him in, and he's doing what's called a charrette. And essentially he is working with the people in the community to come up with different ideas or decisions which they will all ultimately vote on. And he has to sorry about that, he's choosing co-counsels, so 2 leaders on each side to help him through the process, and then it'll create some sort of board. But Sam Rockwell, the head of the Ku Klux Klan, is on one side, and Anne, the head activist, is on the other side. So as you can imagine, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Now they're going to fill out the rest of the board, and these board members will, the citizens and the board members will come up with all these different ideas and solutions, and ultimately the board will vote on which way they want to go. And they need 8 out of 12. There's going to be a total of 12 people on the board. 8 out of 12 have to vote for it to see, whether it's integration or build a new school. I don't know what the other options could be, but that's where we are. It's really, that's really the plot of the story. So it's a racial struggle, and it'll be interesting to see where it goes here. And as I mentioned, it's based on a true story. So that's it. I wanted to catch up real quick so you have a better understanding of what's going on. So far, so good. Both main actors are fantastic, and they always were. So we'll see where it goes. I'll get back to it a little bit more, and I'll probably see you at the credits. Unless something interesting happens, I'll check back in. So stick around. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of The Best of Enemies. Now I know why the movie is titled that. Just as I read it, I picked it up. Anyway, not a whole lot more to tell without spoiling it for you. If you know about this true life event, great. I had no idea about anything, and that's the way I love going into this. So let me start backwards. On these films, what is my favorite part, or what is criteria that must exist in films based on a true story? For me, it is at the end, giving blurbs on what happens afterwards, and pictures at least. Well, both of those exist, not just pictures, but also video of the real people. For me, it always just really, it makes it real at that point. I know it's based on true life story, but when you see that piece of it, it brings you back, you think you're watching a fairy tale or a make-believe story for 2 hours and 15 minutes, and then when they hit you with that and you realize this is real, that just really makes it sink in. That's what I love about films based on true stories, when they show that at the end. And that existed. They had a lot of it, and they had the actual people speaking. So that was pretty neat. I really liked that part of it. So that really brought it home for me. It was a little long, I thought. Over 2 hours, 2 hours and 13 minutes, I think is what the runtime was, and a little bit long, hard to stay engaged the whole time, and it's not enough. I don't want to say action, because it's not an action movie, but you know what I mean. There's not enough there to keep your interest the entire time. I could, not that I was checking my phone, but my thoughts might have been wandering. Still, great film. I think they could have shrunk it down a little bit better. As far as the acting, our two main characters are great. We know CP, who was played by Sam Rockwell, he's a phenomenal actor. Now in this one, he did a good job acting with the character that he had, but the character didn't allow Sam Rockwell to explore his acting capabilities, I feel. He did a great job at what he had, and that's fine, and he's playing a real life character, so but we know he has more acting skills than what were portrayed here. Did fine, but again, nothing over the top. And then our co-star there, she did a fabulous job, especially when you see the real life people at the end and stuff like that. I thought she did. She's a really good actor too. So I thought they did really well in this film. The acting was there. I think the story is fantastic. When you watch it, a little long, but still, I love the story and the way it was going. And just to go back over the plot just a little bit, and then I'll let you go, is they're voting on whether they should integrate these schools or not. There is no other solution. I was mentioning there's another solution. There wasn't. There's 3 pieces to it, but the ultimate thing is, do they integrate or not? And they had to put this council together. Everybody presented everything, and then the council then votes, and 8 out of 12 votes, they integrate or they don't. And that's what it was all building to. And Sam Rockwell was the head of the KKK, and so you can imagine what's going on there when people are thinking about who they're going to vote for and what happens in a lot of different elections. It's kind of present here, but that's it. I thought it was a really good movie, except for those opportunities. A little long. That's really my biggest gripe on it, and that's it. I think you should check it out. If you know nothing about this story, definitely check it out. If you know a lot about it, I'm not sure how you'd feel, because sometimes when you know a lot about the real life events, it's like, well, that's not right, they embellished on this, blah blah blah. But if you have nothing, don't know anything about this, like to learn about history, especially but this kind of with school integration and racism and all that kind of stuff, check this out. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. But set aside some time, because it takes a little bit. Alright, that's it. Oh, one other thing I'd also mention. If I intrigued you through this awesome review, and you're like, I want to watch it, I now put in the comments below, or in the description below, I put a link to either the Blu-ray, or the Blu-ray and the on-demand section. So you can click on it and go in and watch it right away. Don't even have to search for it or do anything like that. That's what I'm doing for you. So, anyway, if you do watch it, drop me some comments. Love to hear what your thoughts were on the film. Like my channel, and also subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.